ho, ho! Merry Christmas, boys and girls! I am happy to be here today from the North Pole. I just got up from a nap, and I have to rest up for Christmas Eve when I come to all your houses. So I hope all you boys and girls have been good for your parents this year. Today, though, I really want to tell you a special story. The story of the littlest elf. He's one of my favorite elves, but he's tiny. The littlest elf. Oliver was an elf. He lived with his family in the North Pole. There were many elves in Santa's village, but Oliver was the littlest of all. It was Christmas time and Oliver was very excited. This year he would discover his special jobs as one of Santa's workshops. He just needed to visit each shop to see which one was the right fit for him. All the toy workshops were where his mom worked. Oliver tried to make cuddly teddy bears, but he got lost in a huge stuffing pile. Oliver, asked the elf. Oliver's mom said, I think you're too little for the toy workshop. Why don't you try helping your dad at the bicycle workshop instead? Look at how he got lost in all of that stuffing for the toys. So Oliver went to Santa's bicycle workshop. I'm ready to help, he said. Oliver watched as the elves added wheels and seats and handlebars and bells. But the tools were too big for Oliver's little hands. Maybe baking is your special job, Oliver's dad told him. You should visit your brother at the bakery next. Off Oliver went to the bakery. These elves made sugar plum cookies and candy cane squares. But when Oliver tried to stir the cookie dough, Oliver looked out at one of those elves and shouted. He fell into a giant mixing bowl. Sorry, Ollie, his brother said. You're too little for the bakery. Maybe your special job is at the bookmaker's shop. Oliver arrived at the last Santa workshops where his sister worked. The bookmakers there wrote amazing stories and drew wonderful pictures. Can I help? Oliver asked. Of course, the elves replied. But the ink pot was kind of tough to reach, and the stack of paper was very tall. Oh, Ollie, his sister cried. Bookmaking was harder and messier than it looked. Oliver wandered through the North Pole. He was very sad. Oliver knew there had to be someone special, some special job he could do, even if he was little. Then he heard the sound of hooves clattering at the stables. Inside, a herd of reindeer had gathered to meet Dot, the new reindeer. She was little, just like Oliver. Look at that and how little she is. Dot was very excited to help fly Santa's sleigh. She practiced for the big night by jumping and hopping and leaping, but she could not fly. The reindeer's mama gave her a gentle kiss. Dot was still too little. Dot looked very sad. Oliver wanted to cheer her up. He dug his pockets to find a treat for Dot, but instead he found little trinkets from each workshop he had visited. Just then, he had a big idea. Oliver and Dot used the tiny treasures to make ornaments, cards, and fun decorations for all the hard-working elves in the village. The littlest elf and the littlest reindeer filled the sleigh with their Christmas treats. They delivered the presents to all the workshops. The elves loved their special gifts. Soon, Santa came to see what all the fuss was about. He watched as Oliver and Dot made everyone smile. Suddenly, Santa had an idea. Oliver and Dot, he said, with your big hearts and great Christmas cheer, won't you be my very important helpers this year? Oliver and Dot found their special jobs after all. But more important, they had each found a special friend. Ho, ho, ho! What a great story. And Merry Christmas to you.